Archimex login confirmed.
Welcome to the Lodge. You've accessed
The Lodgecast Experience.
Warning, warning, dangerous spoilers ahead. Enjoy.
The Lodgecast is a little podcast where we watch weird movies, so you don't have to.
The Lodgecast, baby.
Lodgecast, gonna smoke grass. Lodgecast, missing movie pass. Lodgecast,
We're gonna watch some crap,
Lodgecast.
and then the Lodge Master chats.
With Lucas and Bishki.
Episode 172. This is me. Now. Hello and welcome to an I'm still Jenny from the block episode of the Lodgecast. I'm your Lodge Master. With me as always is Brother Bishki.
Gobble, gobble.
We got Brother Lucas.
Used to have a little, now I have a lot.
Lodge Mistress Millie.
So happy to be here.
And back from her stint with Jingle Smells for another heaping helping, it's Sister Emily.
God bless everyone. Where am I? What is this?
We are in the Cine Lounge tonight, so we can get a little tipsy. We can
Hell
take
yeah.
some notes if need be. And the movie tonight is called, what's the official title? Jenifer Lopez. This is me now.
Yes.
Colon?
Period,
No
period,
colon.
period.
I don't know if Jenifer Lopez
Is this a movie or
This is me now. It's basically, she's got a new album out.
There's no subtitle. It's just This Is Me Now.
This is me. Period. Now.
I was
we had a
looking
fiction
forward to a
piece.
fiction.
No. Let's No. Here's what I know. I watched about 10 seconds of the trailer and I was like, holy shit, we're doing this.
I've not
Okay.
seen. I purposely
All right,
avoided
all
the
right.
trailer.
Oh.
Yeah,
Okay.
I stayed away from the trailer.
Is,
I need scripts.
it is a narrative,
Okay, all
but
right.
it might also be a music video.
Like Michael Jackson's
or
Moonwalker.
musical.
It might be a musical. This movie is just a hair over an hour long. So
all
how
right.
about that?
Oh,
Nice.
Probably the
Cheers,
shortest,
everyone.
Easily 2 bones.
probably the shortest movie we've ever Lodgecast. The only thing I
Yeah.
can think rivals it is that deerskin French
Oh, right.
movie.
Right.
Yeah,
But
this,
that was longer.
that was
But
longer.
for the record, officially, 60 minutes is considered feature length.
Right.
Okay.
Anything 60,
Right.
60
Really?
plus or 60, is feature length.
So,
Really? They
Lucas-
seem to be getting longer, but
Lucas, are you locking in 2 bones just for the runtime? Can we hold you to that?
Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? I feel like if you're making something of that runtime, you're giving us a crystalline version of your vision, which would be potent.
Who is
and
this
strong.
boy? Who is
So I
this
feel
boy?
this is going to hit us hard. I feel like we're in for a real
Wow.
treat. Yeah.
Lucas isn't even drinking alcohol. That's Pepsi down there.
Yeah.
So this is just pure undiluted love and light, which could come at least partially, if not completely, from the fucking food that Emily brought tonight.
Sister Emily, thank you for the homemade chili.
Of course.
Can you explain the connection
So
to J.Lo?
Yes, of course. You know, I always like to be inspired and I always like to feed people. So I had read that J.Lo was a vegan and that her favorite food was kale. I don't know if that tracks, if anyone wants to come at me to correct me, but I took with that and I made a vegan chili that features kale. And
So
it's
good.
actually good. It's not
Oh,
as
it's
scary as that
delicious.
sounds.
Yeah, I ate a bunch of it.
Yeah.
And you
And
brought
so
a-
it's super healthy.
You brought a tub of shredded cheddar.
If
from-
yes,
You sprinkle
yes,
a
if you
little
wanna,
on top.
Yeah.
I
If you
I also
actually
put
want to
some-
add some fatty goodness to it,
Yeah,
then you could
some-
add that.
some blue
So good.
corn
Yeah.
tortilla
I added the blue
chips.
corn chips. Yeah, so crunchy and delicious.
So yeah, so I've got the good healthy meal, but in the fridge, I don't know if we need to have an intermission or what. I have better than sex, aka better than J.Lo, perhaps even better than Here I Am Now or whatever this flick is called.
Yeah.
Dessert that we'll be breaking out too, and
Oh,
we'll get our
hell
sugar
yes.
high.
So we are in the mood to enjoy this film.
true.
We are short runtime, well fed.
A lot of love for J.Lo, a lot of love for Bennifer.
We are so cozy, comfy, just like tight knit.
Bishke's been texting us with his J.Lo research that he's been doing. Do you want to talk a bit on that?
Well, when last we saw J.Lo, it was this crew. I'm sorry, Millie wasn't there, but Emily was there with us.
Millie was there in spirit.
Yeah.
For Hustlers 2019.
Ooh.
And that was episode 62, and it was a episode.
That was a go back and listen to Hustle.
I was just at Mr. Mail on Sunset Boulevard recently.
MAIL?
MAIL. Yeah, I had to think about that for a second.
Mr. Mayo Clinic.
And they have like 8 black and white 8x10 like headshots.
Oh.
And as I was waiting to be like rung up, I was like looking at the wall, and there was J.Lo. There was like an early headshot of hers signed.
Circa what?
I'm gonna guess it looked. What do you guys? I think like 2000s maybe.
Okay.
Like I'm not quite sure, but I was like, wow, this guy has seen a lot of big A-list stars in here.
She's a prolific actor, and I didn't realize how many albums she's done. She's really prolific.
She gets a lot of shit for her singing voice.
And I guess she spent, I'm not a big fan of her music, but
she auto-tunes the shit out of whatever she does nowadays.
Spent $20 million of her own money for this movie.
Oh, wow.
And
doubling down.
It's really, I won't spoil too much, but it's kind of about her life. And
only thing I know besides the buzz about the trailer was I saw a headline earlier this week, and I didn't read the article, but the headline was like, J.Lo tearfully thanks Muse Ben Affleck about this. Here, this is me now. And I was like, oh, that touches me.
Let's talk about Ben
I
Affleck.
look forward to that.
Because J.Lo and Affleck go back a long ways, as do Sister Emily and myself. And if you can imagine, 21 years ago, when we arrived in this place, this city of angels, the world was a little different. And one Friday afternoon, we did what we usually did with our friend. We'll call him A Money. We would go to the internet cafe because we didn't have internet of our own just yet.
Oh man!
And we would look
all the way down Sunset Boulevard.
We would bring up a website called Craigslist.org.
Man, it's been around a long time.
And look for a job.
Yep.
Wow.
And if there wasn't a job available that day, that was my cue to get stoned to the bone. I won't speak on Emily, but she was with me. And, plants were combusted. And we were like,
Jobs not had.
Jobs not had. What do we do? Let's go down to the Los Feliz 3 and see what movie's playing.
Nice. Beautiful.
And it was Geely
Yes.
being released on that very day.
Whoa.
Not in the main theater, not in the second theater, but the third little goiter theater.
That's a terrible theater.
The little sliver theater that has like 2 seats on one side and 2 seats on the other with a aisle down the middle. And it was just us 3.
How romantic.
On a Friday afternoon, stoned out of our minds.
Barely just us 3, because A Money tried to stay back a second and get a ticket to another film.
But we didn't let him.
Yeah,
We're like,
the swimming pool one.
We knew that Geely was going to be seismic.
Mm-hmm.
And so we went in there, we sat down. Emily and I were sitting in 2 seats, A Money across the aisle in the other seat. When those lights went down, it was pitch black. Couldn't see anything. And this kindly little old lady starts walking down the aisle. And you have to know, A Money, especially when he's stoned, is very polite, very silent, very introspective. This lady couldn't see. We couldn't see with our young, supple 23-year-old eyes. And this lady sits down on his lap. And dear listener, you have no idea the sound that this very calm individual made. He screamed, "Oh, get the fuck off of me, lady!" And she did her best to scramble away. I don't know if she stayed. I don't know if she died.
Yeah.
It was too dark. And that's exactly when the opening credits to Geely started, and it changed history.
Yeah.
Iconic.
Oh,
I don't remember a lick of that movie because of that.
Oh, wow.
We've since revisited it, and it was...
You pushed it on the lodge. It was a woof.
It was... And we watch a lot of difficult movies, and that one, something about that one,
It
certain
hurt.
people
It hurt.
turned to me and were like,
Why?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm not used to that question. It's like you can't, you drove yourself here, you know why. But that one's got some pain, but it's gobble gobble.
Yeah.
And if you don't know
Turkey
what that
time.
means, turkey
Yeah.
time.
Yeah,
look
it's turkey
up
time.
all this. Christopher Walken's cameo. It's got so much, but it bombed so hard
That was it.
that it blew them apart.
That was
Yeah.
it.
It
Oh,
really
that's what blew them apart.
That
Well,
They
was
among
stayed
other
together for a
things.
little longer, but it really hurt her career. And
20 years later,
Oh man.
they've come back together.
Fairy tale ending. I just know that when they reunited recently, they spent a long time finding a home to have it
Oh,
together.
okay. All right.
And it was like the Princess and the Pea were like, yeah, like none of the houses they bought, they'd make an offer, they'd pull the offer, they'd
course.
find another mansion. And then finally they got like the mansion to move in like Bel Air, I guess.
Do you think it's
But
featured in this movie?
I
Probably.
don't know, but it sounded like another weird fairy tale story, like Bluebeard or something, or like the reunion mansion or something.
To be a fly on their mini walls in many eras, I mean,
Yeah.
who knows?
yeah,
You think it's forever?
I hope.
Yeah.
Oh,
Because-
it's like
because
Liz
we-
and Dick, right?
We saw right before the pandemic, we saw The Way Back with
That was-
Ben Affleck. We don't want him to go back down there.
We
again.
don't want him to go back
yeah,
down.
man, that's too real.
Don't to slide back down. Well, Emily, do you think you're ready for this? Like,
No,
what-
I'm not looking forward to this.
Not either.
I wanted J.Lo in like a wig, being dramatic.
I did too.
Did J.Lo
really
direct
testing
it?
her.
It's not a documentary.
I wanted like the
She directed-
sequel
she
to
directed
like
it?
The Boy
Oh,
Next
she
Door.
did.
I don't know. I'm nodding, but that doesn't mean that's the case.
I don't want
Okay.
lovey-dovey celebrate their.
I'll try to give it a little
stupid
light.
love.
There's a lot of cameos in this. I won't say who they are, but
And it's
look-
a prolific music video director who directed it.
Got it,
Dave
got it.
Myers. I think
Got
is his
it.
name.
Got it.
let's do it.
Let's convert these ladies. You guys are going to love this. We're going to pump it. We're going to have some of Emily's dessert. We're going to drink a little drink. We're going to win you over.
All right.
Check it out.
Waiting for tonight.
Love and light, y'all.
This is me now. This is me now. And I took my time, little winter summers, baby. Had to heal my heart, but I love who I am lately. This is me now. When I was a girl, they'd ask me what I'd be. What you gonna be? A woman in love is what I grew up wanting to be. Love's what I wanted to be. It's my melody, the symphony I see. And your every word gave me strength to follow my dreams. You met me halfway, face to face, tell the truth, no holding back. We put in work, overcame all the disasters. Time apart brought us right here where we are. And I sing, this is me now. Love me as I am.
This is me now. Holy shit.
A love story.
Wow.
A lodge story.
Oh my god. Well, first things first, we got to give a shout out to our Salad Dragon super fan of the week, our Venmo contributor. Who is it, Bishki?
This week we're giving a shout out to my brother Sean in
Love you,
Milwaukee.
Sean.
In Milwaukee, you gave us a nice donation to our Venmo.
Cha-ching! And I forgot to mention these fucking Amazon Prime, J.Lo's just taken over it. It's a full J.Lo bonanza on Prime Video. If you have Amazon Prime, now if you don't want to watch commercials, they make you pay $3 fucking a month.
Yep. Boo hiss.
3 buckaroos.
Lame Amazon.
That's fucked up.
Brother Sean to the rescue.
Brother Sean came through and fucking paid for our J.Lo.
Ad free.
And then some. We didn't see any ads, did we?
No.
No.
Thank God.
Not
Thank
a
you.
word.
Could have
And
used one.
if you would like to donate, it's Venmo at Movie Lodgecast. I mean, just at Movie Lodgecast. Don't put Venmo.
And
Find it.
If you've contributed, don't worry, we're gonna get to you. We got some fun ones coming up.
Yeah. I got Bavarian Legends coming
Oh
on
my
the horizon.
God.
I can't wait for them. I really hope I'm there for that.
We should buy 2. What would they do if their whole like concession stand would break down?
Yeah, it would take an hour. Yeah.
So before we get into whatever the fuck this was,
Bishy, what's that shot?
It's on Rotten Tomatoes. It is This Is Me Now, a love story. On Rotten,
shit,
on Rotten
Lucas was
Tomatoes.
right.
My instincts were right.
LT is right. There's a colon. This is me now. ... No, sorry. Let me start over again.
Keeping
This is
that.
me now.
This
Period.
is me. Wait.
No, I'm
Me
sorry.
now, period?
Sorry.
Me now.
Start again. Stop,
Here we
everyone.
go. Here we go.
This is me. Period. Now. A love story.
Yes.
Is nothing like you've ever seen from Jenifer Lopez. Alongside director Dave Meyers, Jenifer has created a narrative-driven cinematic odyssey steeped in mythological storytelling and personal healing. Dropping in tandem with her first studio album in a decade, this genre-bending Amazon original showcases her journey to love through her own eyes with fantastical costumes, breathtaking...
What?
That's what it says. Breathtaking choreography and star-studded cameos. This panorama is an introspective retrospective of Jenifer.
What the fuck word salad are you reading?
I almost puked.
This panorama is an introspective retrospective of Jennifer's resilient heart. Period.
Those costumes were rickety.
Panoramic.
They were not.
Retrospective.
You did not find them fantastical.
Millie
No,
was
I
not
found them
impressed.
rickety.
Yeah.
And just a little, just kind of community theater.
So
It's like we just got off a ride.
It does feel like a ride. It feels like it should be at Universal Studios.
Yes.
And we should have all had our seats like vibrating.
Yeah.
Like 40X,
and water
like we're
blasting
wet.
at us.
Like our phone is wet. I'm worried about my phone right now.
Yeah.
fucking perfume blasting all over us.
It was like
Totally.
a mix of AI and improv.
Yeah.
Oh.
In the worst ways.
I was shocked to see there were writing credits at the end. But,
Yeah.
But Matt said early on, like, was there a script? Like, do
Yeah.
we know if
I
there
don't
was
think
a script?
so.
Because it just felt like
I think there was a
improv scenes. You're right, Millie.
There
Like,
was
it's
a
just like,
series of concepts.
this is the scene.
Yeah.
Lucas was laughing so loud for like 5 solid minutes at the beginning.
It's like I was being gassed.
we
with
were
her moves.
we were adjusting because there's a giant fable about a hummingbird, which will come back
That was
later.
not the worst
that
part.
was
With
It
like
was
a
fine.
zoom, the never-ending zoom out, which
Yeah,
made
that
me
was
a
a little bit of a
woozy.
headache.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was like,
But everybody was giving it respect, and then it was a hard cut
Oh.
to J.Lo riding on the back of a motorcycle with obviously Ben Affleck across the fucking AI salt flats.
Very Larry Crown. I mean, I thought.
J.Lo wishes she was like Larry Crown.
That
No.
shot of them on the motorcycle, it was like a Zima commercial. or
Yes.
something. It was completely
Or
like an
like a-
ad.
like a
and,
Nestle white chocolate commercial.
and I started losing it because
yeah,
I went from
Lucas
like
was fucking
I went from like
losing it.
0 to crazy because all of a sudden she's like in a rose petal factory, and I
Yeah,
said like the
okay.
Matrix
Well,
Reloaded, like this.
Immediate
Dragon.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The Savage Dragon. A scene in a movie that is so bizarre, baffling, or transcendent that it instantly justifies the price of admission. Or Reese Witherspoon's leafy transformation in A Wrinkle in Time.
Emily,
Yeah.
you
Take us
explain
through-
this.
take us through it.
What's going on in this phantasmagoric setup?
It's like Metropolis in a way.
Sure.
There's some
Yeah.
of that. Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, after the crash and burn of her and Ben 1.0, right? We can all agree
Yes.
that that's what
Yes.
happened.
Yep.
Yes. Yep.
She is abruptly in a factory that is producing petals.
Rose petals.
Yeah.
To power a heart. Yeah.
A giant mechanical steampunk.
But
Of only women.
all
yes,
women.
all women, and the heart is failing.
Yeah.
The petals
It's
are
broken.
low, and then there's none.
And J-Lo's got to dance and sing about it.
Yes.
And she's got to put on a fucking Dustin Hoffman outbreak suit.
Yeah.
And she's got to go into the heart and put the last little pedal on the flame and try to salvage that breaking heart.
Yeah, there's a lot of great details in the Heart Factory.
Yes.
I noticed there was tear ducts, TEARDUCTS.
Yes.
It was quite gritty, but also
all CG.
Gyrating movements.
Yes. All the ladies. Like,
was
there's
shocking.
There's a lot of, like, J.Lo wants this to be kind of Rhythm Nation in a lot of
Felt like it,
situations.
huh?
Yeah.
But it's just kind of funny. Like, when all these worker ladies are doing this herky jerky choreography, and J-Lo's so serious.
So earnest.
You just have to laugh
Going
like
hard.
Lucas.
Yeah,
like
the
Lucas
pop and
was-
lock, like it was such hard pop and lock that I hadn't seen it in so long.
It's fucking hard.
And she was looking like Harrison Ford, Dial of Destiny, Digi,
Yes,
So
yes.
that was making me lose it. Where I was like, this is not what I was expecting.
So J-Lo is like, she's about 50, maybe?
54 now.
54. Her
Amazing.
face, she has the skin of a 10-year-old.
Yeah.
Yes. Very smooth, very supple.
And you just think of all the
Tight.
poor CG artists that, she was probably going through with probably Ben Affleck, frame by
No,
frame.
that's what I was thinking.
And
too.
Affleck was probably like, you can do better. You can
Scrub
do
it.
better.
Scrub it.
Scrub.
Oh, it was so hard to watch because you could also know that like it was like they were like cut and they're like we have to go harder this time. Did the
Pop
dances
harder.
Yes.
Lock harder.
and it was like because it was so earnest and it was
Yeah.
so and she thought she was really making art and it is just it is
it felt
missing
tone
the
deaf
mark
to me. Yeah, it
Oh,
felt super,
tone deaf.
super tone deaf.
Listen,
Talk that through. Why did you think it was tone deaf?
It's not tone deaf
I don't know. Like,
until later.
no, I know it's sincere, but I just mean like I'm so cynical in the world today with what's going on. Just to see this like unabashed,
Therapy session.
vanity project,
Well,
It's a
passion
vanity
project.
But we'll get there. But
Like,
in the Heart Factory, I was excited.
It's so hard
Yeah, I was
cringe.
too.
It's so
I
hard
liked it.
cringe.
No,
I would have
I-
been fine with 60 minutes in the Heart
In the Heart
Factory.
Factory.
I was
actually.
cringing.
It was like watching your mom like dance, at like Thanksgiving.
No, it wasn't. No,
That's not true. Emily, I'm with you. It's not like
that's
watching.
what I was laughing
My
at.
mom doesn't pop and lock
no,
like that.
I'm
Yeah.
with Lucas in some ways because the song was like you don't know me. I may seem like I'm this big star, but I got troubles. Like that was some of the lyrics in that song.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
and I was like, oh my God. Like
Yeah, she's got troubles
you got
already.
problems like I got problems.
But the big problem with the whole endeavor is that we come out of the Heart Factory and we realize she's just explaining her dream to her therapist, Fat Joe.
yeah, I was disappointed.
That is very disappointing. In
Very
fact,
disappointing.
It didn't even
Narrative
register
whiplash.
with me.
It's
that
like-
she was explaining that.
I was
as a
hoping
dream.
we were
I
in a
thought it was an alternate universe.
Yeah, I thought we were in a sci-fi movie.
Like
I
Mad
thought-
Max, yeah.
Or like
I was-
City of Lost J-Lo,
I was
like
happy to be in the sci-fi world.
I was very happy.
Yes.
But
Same.
then they park you in these therapy sessions, of which there are tons.
Oh,
Yeah.
Fat Joe's got a lot of lines.
too much.
Fat Joe is not
much.
what we would call an actor, and he's
No.
got most of the lines.
A
in this
lot
movie.
of
Oh my
heavy lifting to
God.
do.
And-
Yeah.
And all she's doing in the therapy sessions is one of my very favorite things in films, which is aka not my favorite thing at all. Talking about her dreams.
Oh,
Yeah.
God. But Emily ordered a wig, and she had a wig on.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know if she actually had a wig. I
No.
think she had pieces added to her hair, but I
Okay.
actually think that was, I'll call that as her own with just some enhancements.
Okay.
I thought she
Looked
looked
good.
great.
Yeah.
Well, someone else that looks great in this is Ben Affleck popping up as a Fox News style host on TV sets
Named
throughout.
Rex Stone.
And he basically does nothing.
He's not funny.
He's not funny. He doesn't do anything. But he's all made up.
But it had to be him.
It had to be him. And he thought it was hilarious. And J-Lo thought it was super
Lord.
funny.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
So you see him every once in a while. There's a scene in a glass house.
Glass house scene.
Is that where some of the budget went?
I think so. It's all CG glass. She's tethered to her lover. Her lover is pounding on the glass, breaking it.
Yeah.
I think that's the Puff Daddy stage because I guess they had a tumultuous relationship, and it's very.
I think it might be Mark Anthony.
Well,
could be, yeah. She's working it out.
She's planting these delicious seeds for everybody to argue about and tweet about. But Lucas was like, I want to see what the neighbors see. And then right when he said that, it zooms around to all these other couples in this glass building. There's like two on a sex swing.
They're all tethered.
They're all tethered.
Yeah.
They're making out. They're jumping around. They're sliding around.
busy.
Shimbuti? What's it called? The rope play?
Oh.
You tell me,
Excuse
boy.
me?
No,
You
no,
want to
no.
enlighten us?
Whatever. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. If you know, you know. But there was a glass bathroom, which was interesting,
Yeah.
completely transparent. And
The house was cool.
yeah, like it's good for a music video. And it's a
Yeah.
music video planted within this larger music video. But you keep coming back to Fat fucking Joe. And she's like, I was dreaming about it. And he's like, then what happened in your dream?
Tell me about it.
And then we get to the astrological.
What do we call this? Is this a dragon?
I think so.
Yeah, why not?
Double Dragon.
Oh, Bishki.
We zoom out from the glass house, out in the universe, light flowing into the cosmos to a portal far away with all the signs of the astrology.
Except for Aquarius.
Yeah.
Oh, except for maybe that's J.Lo or something. I don't know.
And more stars show up than are
But a
in
lot
the
of
fucking night sky.
Yeah, all the cameos I was hoping for show up in this section, including
80
and not
for
limited
Brady.
to Jane Fonda, Neil deGrasse Tyson,
Yeah.
Post Malone,
Posty.
Keke Palmer,
Trevor Noah.
Trevor Noah, and some other people.
Sofia Vergara.
Sofia Vergara.
And they're all interacting as if none of these people were ever in the same room. Like
Yeah,
they
you
shot
called it.
them-
Yeah, you
Yeah.
said that, and I was like, "Oh my god, you're right."
And you were right.
and nothing matched.
The editing was bad.
Yeah.
I was like tightening it up.
Yeah.
When my fingers start like jumping around, that's not a good sign for your movie. Because I'm like sliding shit. I'm fixing Post Malone's like comic timing. I'm like sliding him over
They
a
just
little
need
bit.
to overlap a little.
Yes!
It would have worked. I mean, they did it a little bit towards the end, but not enough. Like it was
I think
painful.
they might have been pausing for laughs that were not present in this room.
I bet you're right.
Because we were all just overlapping groans.
I was just I was
like,
cringing. I was like,
And Neil deGrasse and like an
Bad.
astrological thing. Like that's just
odd.
it's
Yeah.
like, why would you do that?
should have been
Neil?
iced tea.
It should have been
anybody.
It should have been iced tea alone. Yeah.
That would have been good.
This whole endeavor reminded me of Michael Jackson's Ghosts.
Yes.
If you don't know about Michael Jackson's Ghosts, I force these fine people to watch this movie at least once a year. We check in with it.
What's the runtime on that?
That movie's like 45 minutes.
It's
So
close.
Yeah.
it's
Close,
limbo's
yeah.
under this one. Much like this one, it also feels very long because it is a star that is working out some issues, making something that they think is fucking funny and charming.
And high art.
But they're in an
Yes.
echo chamber because their head is
Yes.
all the way up their ass.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's what this is. This is J.Lo's therapy session. She thinks she's got cute dream ideas. She's got all these celebrity commentators looking at her life. She thinks it's funny, but also enlightening. But we're just sitting here like, ugh. Like, we're supposed to feel bad for you. Why?
Yeah.
Like, you're in this giant AI super mansion, and your big problem is that you love too much.
I don't think we were supposed to feel bad for her. I think we were supposed to root for her.
Well, root for her, but also feel like, oh, I just want her to find the love of her life, you know, and she just can't quite do it.
Yeah, that is strange that was like the end all be all was the love, because she had at one point forgiven herself,
Right.
and found herself at a
She
wedding.
went to a
by
wedding alone.
herself.
Oh my God.
Major
Yeah.
breakthrough.
But before we jump too far ahead, because this is a short film, we need to dissect what came out of it. she has like 3 weddings. There's like a weird mega mix of her marrying people.
I enjoyed that sequence.
Well, when she reveals, when she says I do and she steps away and reveals her wedding dress, that's a fucking dragon in and of itself.
1, 2, 3.
We all flipped out.
My mind was blown.
That's a dragon design.
Milster, can
That
you
was
describe
a
this wedding dress? Like, why did we
I
scream?
gasped.
Yeah,
Yeah, my mind was blown. I think
truly
I said holy
gasped.
shit a couple times or
Because
holy hell.
it was like nothing I had ever dreamed of. It was like this because you saw her kind of like from a different angle, so you didn't see what was kind of like below her bust.
Yeah,
and below her bust was this big one heart cut out facing up.
Yes,
and then it was like around her crotch area.
Yes.
There was a strip of fabric, and then it was like a heart facing down.
Yeah,
so it was
inverted.
two hearts.
2 hearts.
It was very. It was
Showing
like
off her navel. Yeah.
yeah, shut off her neck. It was like like quite the look.
It was a landing strip. Okay.
It was a land.
Right.
That was
It was horizontal.
that was the
landing strip.
best part of the movie by far. It was just like, holy shit, you can still
It was like
shock
it was,
with
it was like her
cutouts.
Yeah, her crotch was exposed, but there was like a piece of fabric blocking out the naughty bits.
and
but
it's all
made you-
hearts. So
just-
it's all about love.
yeah, it just made you woo.
We gasped.
Yes.
We
I
all
touched
gasped.
My
I
pearls.
felt old.
Worth seeing that.
Yeah, I think that's worth the $2.99.
That's the dress.
Yes, that's the dress. So we check in with the celebrity star chamber again. Completely not funny. And that's when Bishke was like, this feels like a Super Bowl commercial. And it does.
Yeah.
It feels like a bad like Tostitos commercial.
Yeah.
Much
And
like the Dunkin' commercial she was in.
And it feels like this whole movie, this whole endeavor would be what plays when you like scan a QR code in the corner of a Super Bowl commercial. Like they're like, you want to know more? Here's an hour of this Tostitos monstrosity, you know?
The uncut.
It
felt very private in the sense that like, gosh, like maybe she should have just made this for like as a Christmas card or something.
Oh my
Like a
God,
video
yes.
thing that she like sent out to like her team or whatever.
Yes.
Because like we don't need to know all this. Like it was so personal. Like it just I was always laughing and cringing at just how
instead of spending 20 million of her own dollars, like maybe 2,000,
Well, here's the thing.
keep it in house.
Or write a book.
It was quote unquote personal, but here's why it failed. Because in fact, it wasn't personal enough.
It wasn't
Right.
personal.
It was
no.
I will agree with you.
it
Totally
was-
agree.
It was just surface bullshit.
Yeah.
So
And she was taking the
surface.
emotions of certain things, but I was thinking, gosh, you know, if Ben Affleck and her really truly relive the Geely of it all and like, yeah, the red carpet of it all,
Yeah.
and the Bennifer, like, I don't even think her lyrics had her comment on how like they would be dubbed something that's like non-human, you know, like a 2-person entity.
And during some like a pop and lock breakdown, she could have been like gobble 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 gobble.
Because there are details about her life you want to see. And you want to see Affleck. You do want to see Affleck.
You want to see them together. You're right.
Yeah.
And so when it ended, I was like, we're not gonna see them kiss or anything. It's like you feel
I
cheated.
liked the way that it ended.
We'll get there. We're still.
But you know what? I'll say, okay, I'm way more drawn to emotion and sadness and seeing heartache and break. But that wedding sequence was like schizophrenic to me. So I actually thought it was really well done.
Really?
The man just kept changing. And
I thought it was great.
It was like
I
the
enjoyed
passing of time, but it was also like just kind of like a reflection of like who she doesn't even know who she's with.
Right.
That's who she was then.
Right.
Yeah.
But I thought it was done nicely because she had a big grin on her face the whole
did.
time. And then suddenly she just has like cake on her face and it's not cute.
Yeah.
And she's like kind of looks at her hands and her hands are covered in cake and she's like, oh no. And then it cuts.
Well, speaking of cake, we had a cake break around this time. And God
Deliciousness.
damn it, Emily, can you explain what was in that fucking cake that we ate? Because I had one bite.
It's pure love, man.
We
It's
were
pure
like,
love.
we were like,
Love and light.
We were in a tough spot. We were just like, we need this cake is going to push us over the edge. It's going to keep us going. I took one bite and I'm just like, I was like blown back. It was like a glass house just blew up. What is in that?
It's nostalgia because I think this recipe came from like the 70s, and I think it's called better than Robert Redford in some recipes, which is funny because Robert Redford showed up in this.
She's
film.
watching The Way We Were.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's just some cake with some Cool Whip, with some toffee, with some evaporated condensed milk.
Oh, the
it's
toffee.
just
That
all
toffee was-
yeah.
All the goodness.
All the things that J.Lo does not put in her body.
The anti-J-Lo.
It was.
So I'm just going to keep passing out these dragons. We got another one. Why not?
Yeah.
4 dragons.
She goes to this Love Addicts Anonymous group.
Oh, dear Lord.
Well, let's.
And note, Paul Raci from Sound of Metal is conducting the group.
It's the classic support group. She's sitting in a circle, but you look at all the other people in the circle and you're like, these people are prone to dance. Like you can tell. You can tell when people are actors and when they're they're dancer dominant.
And usually that means they're younger than J.Lo because dancers by and large are younger.
Everybody in this movie is
her
group of
friends are
like
her
25.
kids' friends.
They're matching everybody in this movie to her filtered face age.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
So all her friends are like 30.
They're not even millennials.
Right.
They totally skipped a whole generation.
Oh, good point.
Yes. So anyway, back to this Love Addicts circle. I really enjoy this because I love it when there's some earnest, like interpretive dance. Like if the song's about inner turmoil, then you see a dude just wriggling around and like, real angular jutting and like pulling and pushing. You get it all here. You get it all. And
I think they're doing sign language throughout the
in
dance.
this one.
Yeah. It was about being broke.
Broken like me. We were all singing it. So
now here I am.
They did something right.
Yeah, fair.
Right? Lucas, no?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, that was one of my favorite sequences.
Yeah,
I actually liked that song a lot.
Yeah. And J.Lo was kind of subdued and she was just wearing a black outfit.
Yeah.
But then at the end they like put her on a chair like it's a Jewish wedding or something.
Then they kind of tilted
and they
her.
kind of they did a lot of jutting and they jutted her to the side. I don't know.
Can I just say before that though was one of my favorite scenes when they had an intervention and all of her friends were around her kitchen drinking wine and telling her that it's an intervention.
Well, it was a love intervention.
And she was messed up though. She was like totally hammered with this
she was drunk in love
guy and he ends up dropping a gun which happened to her. P. Diddy got caught like charged with a weapon in a shooting in, like at a nightclub that they had. So she had all these little hints towards her past.
She's like, we're just having fun.
Yeah. She became really sober then. And it was like, what's wrong with love?
What's wrong with love? So we're back to therapy, and therapy is a great jumping off point for music videos because she can say anything. And then
I had a dream.
This particular dream, she encounters herself as a child, and her child self is like all cut up and like fucked up. Which it kind of becomes almost
self-harm.
Yeah, it's like what is this? Could jump off in a million different directions at this point. But I think it's mainly just symbolic. Like, the
wounded inner child.
She's wounded inner child. And this is where I really felt like J.Lo was just jacking off. Because she's just like, she's just singing to herself. She's so far into her own hall of mirrors. And it's like, do we care about this very basic surface psychology that's going on?
But it's the pivot too. It's what solves like the case. I mean, it's like her like meeting herself and apologizing to herself.
Together. Yeah.
You didn't love yourself enough.
And then her inner child turns into a bunch of rose petals, and then it's back to the Heart Factory, which I'm like,
I was glad to be back.
I was glad to be back, but I'm also like,
the sunglasses were cool.
We're back at the Heart Factory again. Like, show me some more shit. You're running out of time, J.Lo.
Mm-hmm.
But
I knew that meant we were rapping, and I was glad to be there.
We had to see that the heart was fixed.
Yeah.
And pumping, and all the ladies are,
they're
happy.
grooving again.
And they're grooving again.
They kind of died before, and then they're back.
Yeah.
And they're popping and locking hard.
So then she goes and sees Fat Joe again. She's probably telling him about that fucking Heart Factory. And he's like, well, sounds good. It's raining out. Do you want to ride home?
You want to ride?
And she's like, no, I'm going to take the bus. And then we're all just like, Jenny from the bus. But she doesn't take the bus. She was
waiting for the bus, and then she got moved.
So this scene, she puts on like a brown trench coat. She's had these wild outfits throughout. But for this big
climax,
singing in the rain climax scene, she puts on this brown trench coat that when it's wet, it looks like a fucking drenched paper bag, or as Milster said, a turd.
A wet turd.
A wet turd, a slimy turd.
She's got the On Golden Pond hat.
She's got an On Golden Pond hat on loan from Jane Fonda. And she sees a digital hummingbird, which means love is still possible. And it is like she's whacked out on drugs.
So whacked out.
Just like out in the street, and like regular people are walking by, like avoiding her.
Yeah.
And she's just in the middle of the street chasing this fucking hummingbird around. I thought the bus was going to run over her. But she's just fucking flailing around in this ugly ass coat.
It's so dark out. The coat's so dark. It does not work.
The wrong choice for the scene.
And she's dancing hard, and she's smiling
Big smile.
Stretches.
Uncomfortable.
It's like toddlers and tiaras level smile factory.
She like has to prove she loves herself, and it's uncomfortable.
And then Fat Joe stops her and is like,
Fat Joe's out there dry as a bone.
Whoa,
stalking her.
What are you doing?
So weird to run into. Do you still need that
I believe in love, Joe.
Can I have a little help moving some stuff into the back of my car?
You're about size 9, right?
So then what happens? Ben Affleck comes out of a Dunkin' Donuts and walks up to her or something?
Well, we see that she's...
No, I don't have any change for you. Sorry.
Sorry.
I think the people are like, what? We go back up to the top in the outer realms with all the Pisces, the astrological people.
The gut-busting comic relief.
And they're like, we hear bells again.
Oh.
And then
they all have shitty prop telescopes that they're half-assed, like looking down on her with.
So the bells turn out to be her friend's wedding, not her own. So she's as Emily said, her big moment here, and this is big. This is big. This is huge. She went to a wedding by herself.
Oh my God. Oh,
damn.
Can you imagine?
Damn.
Can you imagine?
Shame.
Stop the press.
And she sees some giant ass hummingbirds. She's got a hummingbird tattoo on her neck.
Oh,
and then you see fucking Affleck Lantern Josh show up.
Mouth Affleck. You don't
just the mouth.
That's all you need. That's all you need.
Because he's like to the editor, he's like, just the tip. Just the tip of my face.
Yeah.
Put just the tip in.
A shade of me.
And then there was 10 minutes left of runtime, according to my estimation, because I was calling it out. I'm like, halfway there, 30 minutes out. 10 minutes left. And there was 10 solid minutes left, and we were in credits. So this was shorter.
They're driving off into the sunset in the salt flats again. All did.
Less water this time.
Less water.
And then
the path is clear.
And when they go through the cast, it's like a blooper reel that's not funny. It's cracking everybody up on the crew.
The Amazon folks are laughing.
Oh, they fucking love it.
Yeah.
And we get, Bishke ordered this. He was like, I didn't get enough Affleck as that Fox News guy. And then you got a little bit more.
Yeah. One Rex Stone stinger. I don't know what he said.
He's just like,
he was like,
said,
only
"Love's
you
never
can keep
dead."
the love alive.
Yeah.
Like only you can let it die.
And Millie was like, you were impressed with his southern accent.
No. What I said was,
you loved it. You're like,
I
this
said,
is high quality.
I said, I don't hate his southern accent. That's what I said.
Not how I remembered it. Let's go to those. This is me now, J.Lo Bones. The things we do for you, dear listeners. Oh my God. Bishke, you are first to bone.
First to bone.
I thought so. So you don't have to watch this movie because it's not really. It is, as Emily feared, the extended music video with Fat Joe in between.
With some Fat Joe narrative.
Yeah. And I'm with Lucas. Like, she's completely engulfed in her therapy sessions, and looking at that from the outside is kind of embarrassing. Like, and as earnest as she is, and as much, effort she's giving to the dance sequences and the music, it's tough to tell on the first spin, but I've never been
J.Lo.
Never been a big fan of her music. And
what about I'm real, the way you look, the way you smell?
What is that?
Ja Rule.
Ja Rule. No, yeah. No, I like Waiting for the Night. That's about it.
All right.
But anyway, it all comes down to like.
Remember, rumor has it Lucas is going to give this at least 2 bones.
He did.
That's the rumor anyway.
No,
that's the rumor.
The legit 53-minute
rumor on the street.
65 minutes with credits, but 53 minutes of screen time. Helped. And so for that, I give it a full bone, and then I'll give it another half bone for something. So 1.5 bones.
1.5 bones. Maybe half bone for Affleck.
Yeah, for Affleck's chin.
For his chin.
Affleck's chin.
It's a pretty potent chin.
It's a 1.5 bone chin.
Lodge Mistress, you're up next. I can't wait.
Well, here we go.
You were grooving at the beginning. I saw you because I was grooving too.
Listen, I was snapping my fingers. I was trying to get pumped.
Yeah.
I mean, the problem was this movie is interminably long. It's 53 minutes of hell. I mean, damn. I mean, there were some high points. The cake really set me through the second half. Thank God.
The cake sugar rushed us through the second half.
It definitely did. But, ultimately, I just kind of felt like they were like, oh, J.Lo, like they're just going to love you. I mean, you can relate to the common man. You've had your heart broken.
You're still just Jenny from the block. Everybody can relate to you.
But no, because it's not specific enough, and it just feels so shallow. And it also I don't know. She seems like she thinks that she's given a strong, important message.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I mean, you had a broken heart. I mean, duh. So, for me, this was there were some cool visuals. I really enjoyed that wedding dress. We should get a time code on that for folks to help them out.
We should.
I'm going to give this a half a bone.
I hated this movie.
Roger Ebert. That's low for Milster.
Very low.
Holy shit.
It felt interminable.
Well, fuck. Where are we going to go? All right, Lucas, Love and Light.
Lucas.
There's been a rumor on them streets. Lucas, are you locking in 2 bones just for the runtime? Right, can we hold you to that?
Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? Well, Gal Gadot can rest easy tonight knowing that the cringe crown is now bestowed upon J.Lo, and that the Imagine video that Gal Gadot made during the COVID lockdown is no longer.
I don't know if you guys have watched that lately. It's still hits.
The most misguided effort of all time.
That thing pops and locks.
Where you're not reading the room at all, and you're obviously cut off from reality because you live in opulent wealth and surrounded by yes men and sycophants and teams of people
in transparent glass bathrooms.
Yeah, you're right, Millie. It's interesting. It's like I can see J.Lo's idea being like, I'm going to be very honest and raw and share a very intimate, personal side of my life in this fictional kind of fantasia, romantic land.
She should have called it fictional fantasia.
But you're right. It was all surface level. It's like, I'm not saying you got to see Ben Affleck and they got to be hitting every beat from their actual life, but it's like,
give us something.
J.Lo's a mother. She's got all these kids, and that doesn't ever factor into it. It's all very kind of juvenile or something, which makes it weird because she's so old now to be kind of this young girl in high school or whatever.
She's playing the emotional maturity of a tween in this.
Yeah, when it opened with that zoom out of the hummingbird analogy, I was like, oh, this is cool. This is interesting. Where the hell is this going to go? It's going to be crazy.
Yeah.
And then when we got into the steam factory, it was like, dun, 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 everybody dance now. I was just like, I can't take it seriously. And when they started dancing so hard, so fast.
That's when I started taking it seriously.
Me too.
It was like a parody or something, where someone was trying to make fun of, kind of dance moves or whatever. And I literally I don't ever watch like dance videos or music videos. So when it just exploded like that into just like spontaneous hardcore pop lock, I just lost it. Yeah, it was like coming in too hot, you know, where you get the bends or whatever. Like I just started laughing so hard.
Yeah, you did kind of malfunction.
That I would have like woken up the neighbors practically or something. Like
somebody heard.
You would have thought I lost my mind.
Yeah.
But then you might have noticed that after that first, few minutes, my laughter subsided because then it's kind of set in like, oh shit,
we're here now.
This is it.
This is us. This is now.
A lodge story.
This is what we chose for tonight.
And so I started to watch it objectively at that point, and I was like, oh wow, this is like the biggest love letter to Ben and hers reunion, and I'm very happy for them. But like,
keep it as a Christmas card, y'all,
or just like a regular music video, like a 5-minute video. But to make it this like hour-long thing, I'm thinking, all right, it's gonna build and build and build. And it kind of did, but not really.
Or at the very most, like a 10-minute 3-song suite that has the heart, the glass house,
maybe
and
less Fat Joe. Because whenever they cut back to Fat Joe, it was like hitting the brakes. It's like,
maybe no
we're
Fat
back
Joe.
here again. And the laughter kind of stopped, but then I would giggle some more later because like of the raincoat and how she looked and
Post Malone
and how you pointed out none of them are in the same room, and it's like, of course they're not, and it just
is this a 2-bone review? I can't tell.
I don't know how to wrap this up, except it was a 4-bone experience with you all.
And
Emily,
5-bone
with your
food.
with your homemade chili
So
and
good.
your baked confection cake. It was amazing. But this experience or like this piece should have been like a Vision Pro 4DX, like VR escape room, Vegas laser
format rewrite.
Yeah, like laser
I'm
show.
with you on that.
Atmosphere. Yeah.
And Launchmaster, you made like a metaphor earlier about like J.Lo's in her own fun house of like therapy shit or whatever, like memory shit. And I was thinking, man, literally, if you built a fun house and it was like this. Like you're going on a love journey. You got to get to the exit. You know, you have to reunite with your lover. And like, there's people like we're her friends. Like we have to go on this journey with her hologram or whatever.
And then when you get out, you realize you've been up her own ass the whole time. That's the big twist. That's the twist.
You come out and it's just an ass.
Yeah,
that
giant
would be so
J.Lo
amazing.
Booty,
That's perfect. It's on brand.
We need your bones, Lucas.
I know.
Quit stalling.
I know I got your hopes up with the 2-bone thing because of the runtime.
It's just a rumor.
But then, when I started watching it, I was like, this is a wolf. This is painful. Like this, I would rather watch, one of your guys' vacation videos, and I'd be more invested and be like, wow, that's great. Like, I'm glad you went there.
No.
That's a woof. Emily, what's your retort?
Oh my God.
You were coming in hating this the most.
I know. I think I was the most disappointed when you guys told me a little bit about what I was about to experience. I really wanted to see like Boy Next Door type of like J.Lo.
I wish I could have provided that.
J.Lo?
Sure. Any kind of
U-turn J.Lo?
Any kind of acting.
Never U-turn.
And I thought this was going to be like concert experience with maybe like some like visuals, but no, I actually got some like trying to act and like participate in genre bending
nice
scenarios.
This sounds like 2 bones.
I actually enjoyed it a lot more than I expected.
Hell yeah, I knew you would.
I'm listening to everything that you guys are saying and it makes sense, but I feel like a little defensive for J.Lo because it does not actually seem like surface when her whole last 20 years has been plagued by paparazzi.
Yeah.
And to have some elements like the gun, like the physical abuse, like those are pretty vulnerable situations that she's acknowledging happened to her.
Yeah.
And I thank her for showing that part.
And you're always keenly aware of what the National Enquirer is reporting on, so you probably know all of this stuff. Famously having a subscription
so for her
like you
to
did.
address those rumors, meant a lot for the inquiring mind.
I like it.
But the music itself, the dancing. Okay, I'm sorry, but like. dancing is just so like you're just desensitized because of all of the TikTok. So to have it be so like hard and stressed, like made me pay attention to it. And so I actually would have rather had that than some sort of like soft flowing like dance
That's
things.
the beauty of hardcore popping and locking.
But yes.
In your face.
I mean, would it have made more sense if this was done 15 years ago and she was a younger person trying to do some like little sassy raps? Yes, but this is a reflection of her life as a woman in her 50s. Now.
Yeah.
So I appreciate that longevity of it and the reflection of it in her age. I mean, there was just so many things that were laughable about it, but I do really want to give it credit for how genuine she came off in it.
How much credit though?
I will give her 2 bones.
2 bones.
Nice, Emily. I appreciate Emily's love and light.
Utah, give me 2.
That fulfills the promise. The rumor on the street has been validated. Because I sure as hell am not going to give this 2 bones. I'm not going to belabor this. Everybody else has been belaboring this. This is pretty bad. This is pretty rough.
It's not that bad.
It's not that bad, but it's kind of bad. The popping and locking pleased me very deeply. That's a full bone. And that wedding dress, omniscient editorial note, let us throw out a time code for that, just in case people just want to see that part. Omniscient editorial note. The time code for the Salad Dragon wedding dress is 15 minutes, 29 seconds. You're welcome. For those cutouts, for Ben Affleck's chin, and for the popping and locking, that comes to a grand total of 1 1/2 bones.
Nice.
That's what I'm giving. And as always, a 4-bone experience. Thank you guys for coming out for this one.
Yeah. I want to try to make this as long as the movie was itself. We do need to settle the score.
Oh, shit.
It's time I settle the score.
Ooh, all right, let's settle
Because
the
this
score.
movie just came out, so you don't know what the press is even.
Is there an audience?
There's an audience and a tomato meter. People are watching this.
I'm gonna go low.
I'm going low too.
I'm not going low.
We're gonna go. We're going. Who are we going first? Critics.
Critics.
I say 15.
What?
No, not a chance.
No, critics never go that.
This is going to be like.
I'd say 40% critics.
I say 85.
Well, how low do critics
Lodge
go?
Master is quite close.
What?
81.
I hate that I'm
Wow.
close.
Because it might be cooked. Okay.
Yep.
But you know this audience.
The machine that Ben Affleck alone has,
Oh, well,
plus
that's true.
J.Lo,
That's true.
yeah, cooked as fuck.
Audiences are a little cooked as well. What do you think?
Oh, then it's way high.
It's high.
If they're
for
cooked,
critic.
okay, 76.
93.
Close. 89.
Wow.
We got some mischief.
Guys, I think maybe you need to rewatch it. And I think you'll see.
All those reviews are in your crock pot with the chili. That shit is cooked.
I think that those scores will be adjusted in a few weeks.
Sure.
I think that you are a J.Lo fan if you're watching this.
That's
Right,
true.
that's
That's
all
fair.
true.
That's very true.
It's confirmation bias.
True. J-Lo's Valentine's gift to the world, everyone.
Yep, there you go. It's on Amazon Prime.
I just want to say, J.Lo's amazing.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
That's it, everybody. Love and light.
Love and light.
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system.
Hello, this is Sister Emma.
Brother Bill.
And we just stopped watching This Is Me, ... now. Because it's the worst thing I've ever seen.
It's literally insane. I was like kind of trying to like vibe into it the entire time, but couldn't.
Yeah, we kept trying to like hope for the best, and it just kept being bad.
The early sci-fi scenes, I was into the idea of sci-fi. Unfortunately, there wasn't any ideas in it.
No.
So it was just like J.Lo, who we love, big fan of, but
It's terrible.
it's not a movie.
It's not a movie.
But it's
not.
worse than a music video
Yeah.
somehow.
Oh, it's an hour. That's why.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's a woof.
Woof, woof, woof.
Woof, woof, woof.
I'm going to give it a half bone.
I hated this movie.
Okay, woof from Emma,
Half bone.
From Belle. Bye.
Yeah.
Waiting for tonight. Oh, when you would be here in my arms. Waiting for tonight. Oh, I've dreamed of this love for so long. Waiting for tonight. Tender words you say, take my breath away. Love me now and leave me never. Found a sacred place, lost in your embrace. I wanna stay in this forever. I think of the days when the sun used to set on my empty heart, all alone in my bed, tossing and turning, emotions were strong. I knew I had to hold on, waiting for tonight. Oh, when you would be here in my arms, waiting for tonight. I've dreamed of this love for so long, waiting for tonight. Oh.
They're popping and locking hard.